we must think forward, right? And the profession, in the ACOA meeting that we attended in Rwanda, we actually came together. We actually spoke about what solutions can we bring about, as a profession, especially as we solve for the challenges that I spoke about, but also from the lens of creating value for Africa. Then in those discussions, we actually explored a number of solutions. And these solutions were a clear call to ensure that the ecosystem itself works. And it was clear to us that we need to ensure that we can drive inclusive workforce development, that we need to partner with universities to align skills, that we need to make sure that we can make digital tools available and inclusive, and that we can invest in entrepreneurs. But as we do so, I want to also remind us that we need to do so with a deep sense of purpose. And purpose starts with self, understanding your purpose. So as we lead with a deep sense of purpose, let us ensure that we can influence policy with wisdom and empower the youth with the right actions and support small and medium enterprises with the right capital and the capacity that they need. I believe in Senzo, as you were talking and quoting Romans 8, that an ethical thing to do, and what I regard as ethics in action, is doing good by doing good. And that's really what sustainability is about. So this brings us to our closing reflection. And the closing reflection, I know I spoke a lot about accountancy profession, but my message is to all the professions. And in fact, when you look at the sustainability standard, it's actually a profession, what we call a profession agnostic standard, right? The ISB sustainability standard, which means that anyone from any profession can now audit non-financial information, right? So Prof. Maggie, agriculture, if you want to transition to our side, you can actually now. And that's really the movement, the direction we are taking as well, as a profession, to ensure that even as a profession, we are also agnostic, especially in the areas of sustainability. And what I mean by that is that we want to ensure that when it comes to capacity building, we also open the doors for other professions so that we can ensure that even as a country, we remain trusted, especially in the area of assurance and audit. So the accounting profession, I want to argue that it's a conscience of the economy. We are not only guardians of financial data. We are the architects of the future. We shape economies. We shape trust. We shape possibility. And this, it starts with the community. It starts with purpose. I have said enough about challenges, about solutions that we can employ together. When I say together, it's Africa, but then also with our global partners as well. We need to ensure that we can find solutions to cut trade costs, remove the regulatory bottleneck, build digital infrastructure and skills, strengthen cybersecurity and AI governance, scale sustainability reporting, and which is the responsibility as a profession that we have to lead. We have to empower youth and SMEs as agents of change. Accountants must lead with conscience. So let us account for the future that we want to see. And as I close, before I move over to the other interactive part of the session, I want to leave you with this question, right? As you're going to also help us to also answer some of the questions that we'll have in the slide just now. How can you enable South Africa and our African continent to make concrete inroads into challenges that we are faced with? That's a question that I leave you with. And I thank you for listening, and now we're going to move over to our Slido. Thank you. So please use a QR code. I know your phones are on. If you can't, just go to slido.com And when you get onto that landing page, you will see it will ask you to put the number. Please put that. So, and as I said, the conversation is not over until we get your thoughts. And I'm also going to give an opportunity to ask whatever questions that you might have. Kakalo, how are we doing with time? All right, whilst you're logging on, I hope you all were paying attention to the speech and what we had on the slides. So the slides, I must thank the team, obviously did work to put the speech together. It was a process of co-creation, and I want to thank AI, because Copilot as well, made some contributions to the designs and all. And the first that we then put the speech and the content to Copilot, we said generate the presentation, and Copilot had some images. So some of the images were AI generated, okay? And some of those images are real. So with that said, I don't know how many of you would have picked up which ones are real images and which ones are, you think, well, those ones are not real, AI. I think I should have warned you at the beginning, né? Yay. Eh? Surprise guest. All right, so part of the prize is that is to identify there are 3 images that are real on the presentation. So those of you that would have picked them up will then have to then say which ones you believe they are. So it's off. And I must say the images, I really appreciate nature. So one, as we're starting, remember, when we were driving actually from KZN back to Joburg. And the one is, one was flying to Bloemfontein and the sunset was there. It was really such a beautiful picture, I must say, and giving us an appreciation of the lighting that we have. And being in Rwanda, got an opportunity to visit one of the art galleries as well. And it was beautiful to see how they play with the nature and bring elements of our traditions. And they actually used different cloth, to integrate into the art piece. So it was really lovely to integrate. Okay, I hope you were listening. All right, I did my part, ne? Okay. Can we move over to the Slido? Is it off? Are you all on the Slido now? No? Yes? Okay, how many can you show me by hand? How many have got the Slido? I think if we get to half the room, we're happy to move. Statistically, we're okay, ne? We can move, ne? And you share with your neighbor. You can agree on what you believe the answer is, ne? We're good? Kaka, you wanna borrow me with the phone? It's up. All right. Okay, so we'll start with the first question. Which of the following do you believe will have the greatest impact on Africa's future sustainability? So I see a couple of human capital. What's that? It's not showing everything, huh? All right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer. I think it shouldn't take us too long, né? All right, so I see a lot of human capital. Who's the, difference makers? We're about being brave and, we challenge ourselves. We're really about that. So the brave one, who wants to go first and just share your thoughts. Why you believe human capital? Or you can ask a question around it. Why do you believe human capital? All right, anybody, some thoughts on human capital? Why do you believe that human capital will be the greatest part that will actually impact the future of sustainability?
I think we need to also think prizes. Remember, we did indicate initially that when the CEO delivers her address at some point, she's going to be picking 3 winners. This could be the time, guys.
Or maybe environmental innovation, they want to give us their thoughts, whoever chose that one. There's no right or wrong. This is really you expressing your views. There's someone there? Yeah.
There's a taker.
Please give us your name first.
Your name.
Hi everyone. My name is Zulwando. Oh shit. My name is Zulwando Nkala. I wanted to talk on environmental innovation, right? So you mentioned that we should. You're launching a campaign in June that you should pick up litter. I think that we shouldn't touch on environmental innovation because our planet is getting polluted, especially in Africa. Our beaches in Durban are actually polluted, and we really cannot enjoy nature or just being outside, you know. I think that we can reverse that by planting what you've said and just touching on those things. So I really do stand with environmental innovation, even though I don't have much research right now.
Wow. Thank you. Your name? Luando. Okay. I'll do the CEO stuff at the end. So let's get the interaction. Luando, thank you so much for bringing your why. Because in anything that you really put your time to, your why must be strong enough for you to believe and being part of the cause. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. All right, let's move to the next one. In your view, what's the biggest opportunity for South African youth in the next 10 years? So maybe most of you in the room will be how old? 30, 31. Hey? 40, okay. So maybe the average age in the room is what's age? 20, 22, 24? Okay, let's say 34 at most, 30, 35. So when you're 35, what do you think will be the biggest opportunity for you in the future, in the future? Green jobs. Okay, let's see. I need to stand here. Wow, interesting. Digital and AI-driven entrepreneurship. I've got entrepreneurs in the room. I love it. Love it, because that's what we need, right? We need creators. We need people who can innovate. People who bring solutions, right? And who are bold enough to start. So anybody who wants to expand on that? How much time do you have? How much time do you have? Oh, there's a hand there. Kill under the other. The first speaker, kill.
Hi everyone, my name is Oregatile Matlokotsi. So my answer is digital and AI-driven entrepreneurship, because I think with digital, it is easier for youth to start businesses and become entrepreneurs. And in the near future, that can create jobs for the youth, because they can just not be founders, but they can also enable more jobs for other people.
Beautiful. With a positive ripple effect. I like that. I like that. So let's move to the next one. Okay. So do you believe that South Africa is ready to lead in ethical AI and sustainability on the continent? I'm hearing yes. Then why? Okay, there's a couple of, oh, 87 says not yet, but we're on the way. Okay? So, but at least we're on the way, ne? Only with stronger leadership and partnerships. I'd like to hear some thoughts on that one. There's a hand there at the back. Today you're going to get your steps. Stronger leadership and partnerships. Are we ready? I'm actually gauging what's the age group. Yeah, I don't think that time we were playing these games you were around. Maybe if I look this side. Mom Regina, remember, are you ready? And then someone will answer, yes, sir. I'm gonna. You remember, Bondo? Hey? Okay, go for it, my dear.
Afternoon, everyone. I chose the answer that was saying.
Please give us your name, my dear.
Oh, sorry, Mandisa Zwane.
Mandisa, okay.
Yes. Only with stronger leadership and partnership. Had they not included the ethical part of it, it was going to be easy for us to say that, yes, we are on our way with using AI.